it's nice to see you again. I'm excited. I already have our 3 choices for our cards that we're going to draw from for our weekly reading picked out. And I decided that this week we would use crystals because crystals amplify energy. And that has been the theme of last week and this week is about amplifying our energy, or us becoming a SOULar Flare. You know, us allowing our light to shine. And I was thinking about, how I'll read things and I'll go, oh, well, that sounds like a great thing to do, but how do you do it? And I thought, yeah, that's probably something that we could talk about a little bit, is how do you even begin to really let your light shine? Because if you have no idea how to take those steps, then it's really useless information, right? So, like, if you start at the beginning, each of us operates in a duality of modes. We have survival mode, which is like physical. It's all about going to work, paying the rent, getting groceries, all the daily living stuff, the physical stuff. And then we have soul mode, which is about our soul's expression. And that's all about our passion. Like, what gives us juice? What gives us joy? What allows us to express ourselves fully here? And it's about taking the duality of these two and bringing them into balance so that the life you're living for your physical survival is all about your passion and joy and full expression. Okay? So how do you begin to understand or know what your full expression is? And I have a favorite analogy, and it's that when we are getting ready to leave the planet and we're taking our last few breaths on this earth, we aren't going to be, oh, I'm so glad that I paid every utility bill on time. I guarantee that is not going to be the thoughts running through your mind. That when you're taking your last few breaths on this planet, it's going to be, how much of my heart did I allow? How much of my life did I allow myself to live? How much of life did I let in? Who did I love? And who loves me? And if that's the focus when we are getting ready to leave the planet and we're dying, then that needs to be the focus while we're living, is how am I living my life? And what expression am I giving to my truest self? So let's start at the very beginning. Let's say that you've gone out on a first date. And yes, it could have been a very long time since you've been on a first date, but I'm sure you can pull that out of your memory. When you're on a first date with someone, and if you really like them, you're like, so what do you like to do? Where do you like to go? What are your hobbies? What movies do you like? What books do you like to read? And you want to know as much about that person as possible, right? So for this week, I'm going to invite you to let that be your focus, about getting to know yourself, about becoming self-centered. So yeah, for this week, you can be self-centered. It is all about you coming into your center. And let this week be a first date, because we have routines and habits and things that we've done for years. But just because we've done them for years doesn't mean that in the present they still bring us joy and passion. So it's about breaking out of those routines and those old beliefs that we think we are and what we like, and discovering what it is that we like right now. So is it baking? Is it scrapbooking? Is it singing or writing or doing energy work? Like, what gets your juices going? So this week, it's about a first date with yourself and getting to fall in love with yourself. all over again and getting to know who you are. Okay? So that's the challenge for the week. So for the readings, our choices, I'm going to give you a choice of 3 different things. I want you to choose whichever one resonates for you, and then I'm going to base the personal part of your reading on that. Okay? So for this week, I decided that we would use amethyst, a crystal, or rose quartz. So just feel which one of those energies really draw you and get your passion and your juices going. Okay? And let's head over and go do a reading. All right. Let's see what Spirit has in store for us this week. Just give them a quick shuffle and let's begin. Okay, this is our current situation, where we're at, what aids or hinders us, what's happening on the spiritual level, what is happening in the physical. That's very interesting. Oh, loved ones again this week. Wow. Okay. So, let's see. We'll start with current situation, where we're at. Now this card is all about speaking our truth. And it's come up before a couple weeks ago. But now this time it's the current situation, where we are. So it isn't about just speaking our truth. You know, these blues are all about the throat chakra. But it's also about expressing our truth. There's so many ways and forms of expressing ourselves, but you know, in order to move forward on our path, we have to be connected to what our truth is, not the truths that we hear from other people, not what we think we should do or what we think we should believe or feel, but what we really feel inside. And so that's where we're at right now. What we're just passing away from is this beautiful support from our loved ones, meaning they have our back, they're right here to help us move forward on our path. So everyone this week, again, has the support from our loved ones, which is really interesting. So Spirit is definitely with us. Now, moving forward, this is encoded, and we've had this card before, and this card is where we're headed for the week, and it's all about seeing the encoded messages of Spirit, you know, the symbols or the signs. You know, you drive by a truck and it says, call now, and you've been thinking that you probably should call your mom this week. And so it's about seeing those kinds of signs and symbols, and also seeing the deeper working of how Spirit is working in our lives. Now, what gets us to this place is our connection. This card is called Elemental, and it's about connecting to the earth, connecting to that human physical part of ourselves, you know, opening our hearts up to the love and energy that's within this planet and really grounding ourselves in that. And when we do, it makes this deeper connection that allows us to open up to see even more of what's happening here. Now, on the physical level, what's going on? This card is called consciousness. And I always see it as this little brain and all this energy pouring into it. So on the physical, it's about a reworking of our consciousness for the better, to move us forward on our path, because it's always about our enlightenment and remembrance of who we really are. And this card is about changing our consciousness. Hopefully it's about changing the consciousness of our beliefs and our old fears, to let them go, to move forward into the past. Now, what we have happening on the spiritual level here is really interesting. This card is called Work, and it's all about balancing our spiritual work and life with our physical work. You know, a lot of the times we're so focused on working, making money, paying the bills, you know, that sort of thing. And it's about bringing the two worlds into balance, because sometimes we're not always in a position where our work is our spiritual work. So it's just about getting balance, finding balance to help us move forward in that way on a spiritual level. And that's really beautiful. So let's get on to our individual cards. Now the first one we're going to choose is for Amethyst. I feel this one. We'll just take it. Ooh, for Amethyst. It's all about coming out of your shell, opening up to yourself, opening up to the world. And again, you know, it's a lot easier to speak your truth when you allow yourself to be open and to be seen. It's no more hiding. It's bringing out who you are this week for all you amethysts. Now, for our crystal people. Yep, this is the one. Okay. Ooh, okay. This card is all about seeing a new perspective and changes. Sometimes it refers to changes in work or changes where you live. It would be interesting to see what happens, you know, as you begin to bring your two worlds into balance. Changes do begin to occur. So for the crystal people, it's about being able to see beyond your current understanding at this time. It's getting that greater perspective and seeing the changes that can come in your lives. Okay, now we have our rose quartz people, and I feel like I have to dig a little bit. There it is. Okay. So our rose quartz people, this card is called Breakthrough. And that is really beautiful, especially when the theme is about speaking our truth. And it's about breaking through beyond your fears, beyond your beliefs, beyond your own self, breaking out to be who you are. So that's very empowering to take you forward on your path this week. So it looks like we have a little more truth speaking and a little more connection with the earth for this week.
You know, I have to say, I've been reading cards for a long time, and I have never seen the loved ones card come up as much as it does for these global readings. And whenever that happens, that you keep getting the same card over and over, it's spirit wanting us to get the message, you know, and it's once we get the message, then that card will move on. And I feel like I have to reiterate that this is a really important message for you, that your loved ones are with you, that they are working with you on the other side, that they are helping you to move forward on your path to living an authentic life and to have healing, joy, and peace. They are with you. Okay? It's exciting. I love it when that card shows up. Now, onto our dreams. I had a lady write me, and she said that she has a reoccurring dream of her house getting broken into. And usually, once you get the gist of what your dream is trying to tell you, they'll stop reoccurring. So I really wanted to address that for her and help her out in that way. Now, whenever we dream of a house, it represents us for the most part. Sometimes it's about our physicalness, but usually it's us as a whole. That house represents us. And when you have intruders breaking into your house, it's usually a feeling of not feeling safe on an emotional level, that people could potentially break in to your heart and into your private life. So it's good to begin to look at where you're not feeling safe in allowing other people into your heart and into your world. Okay? Now, whenever you dream about a house, if you're doing renovations, like painting and fixing the place up and stuff like that, that's really good, because that means that on some level, you're becoming consciously aware of needing to do healing work, like healing aspects of your life so that you can grow. And whenever you dream of the basement part of a house, anything that happens in the basement, it represents what's happening on a subconscious level. And then if you move up in the levels to like the main living area, the kitchen is about self-nourishment. The living room is more about social life and social interactions. And then if we move up again into bedrooms, bedrooms become more personal. And especially if it's your bedroom. If it's your bedroom and somebody else is in there, it's directly related to your intimate life. Sometimes your sex life, but a lot of times it's the intimacy, okay? And if you go up one more level into the attic is about our intellect or conscious mind, but really about our intellect and thinking. So, you know, if you get trapped in the attic, it's about being trapped in your thinking. So if you have things happening in a house, in a dream, maybe that can help you to begin to understand at what level your subconscious is trying to tell you that issues are happening. Now, I really want to support each and every one of you in speaking your truth this week. And it really actually coincides with the first date and getting to know yourself and becoming self-centered. Because once we become self-centered and know ourselves, it's easier to know our truth. And we feel more secure in here to be able to speak our truth in a very loving, heartfelt way. We can be in our power, right? Now, so for our amethyst people, it's all about coming out of the shell. You know, either you're open or you're closed. So are you going to allow yourself to be open, or are you going to hold yourself closed? So just give opening a chance. And for the crystal people, perspective, that perspective card is all about changes and beginning to see a little bit further beyond the veil in your life about what's happening and why things are happening. And most of the time when that card comes up, it is also talking about possible changes that could be happening, whether it's with work or moving to a new location or something like that. And for our rose quartz people, breakthrough. Okay, that is all about getting past our own selves, breaking through. And that also totally goes with our theme of the week about allowing us to break open those fears and barriers that keep us closed so that we can allow ourselves out. So it's very similar, the amethyst and the rose quartz readings. So I hope you had a great reading. I know that I am definitely going to be speaking with my loved ones this week and thanking them for their support. And I'll see you again next week. Take care.